Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds high-level review meeting on vaccination, expresses satisfaction with the pace of vaccination. 3.77 crore doses administered in the last 6 days. Central government informs Supreme Court new coronavirus vaccine developed by Indian company Zydus Cadila to be available soon for those between 12 to 18 years of age. Public reception of President Ram Nath Kovinds at his native village in Kanpur district of Uttar Pradesh. President to also attend several functions on his historic visit to his home state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 78th edition of monthly radio and television broadcast Mann Ki Baat today. All channels of All India Radio and Doordarshan to telecast the program at 11 AM today. International news. UK Health Minister Matt Hancock resigns over alleged breach of COVID protocol. Sajid Javid appointed new Health Minister. And in sports, Abhishek Verma clinches historic gold medal at Archery World Cup in Paris, beats Chris Schaff of America in the compound event. Well, good morning, I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Let's start with the top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a meeting where he expressed satisfaction at the rising speed of vaccinations in this week and stressed that it is very important to carry this momentum forward. PM asked officials to ensure that the pace of testing does not go down, as testing remains a very important weapon to track and contain rising infections in any region. PM said that efforts should be made to help all countries with India's rich tech expertise in the form of Kovind platform. More in this report.
The centre's efforts in containing the spread of COVID-19 pandemic is bearing good results as the cases in India continue to decline. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is closely monitoring the strategy of preventing infection and increasing vaccination across the country. The Prime Minister held a meeting on Saturday reviewing the progress of the nationwide vaccination drive. Senior officials, including Health Ministry officials, attended the meeting. It is to be noted that after the commencement of the new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination by the centre from 21st June, the vaccination campaign across the country has picked up momentum with the efforts of both the union and state governments. While 40 crore COVID-19 tests have been conducted till date across the country, meanwhile, India has reported 48,698 new cases in the last 24 hours, which is less than 50,000. recorded for the second time in last 5 days. Daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 44th consecutive day, whereas 64,818 patients recovered during the last 24 hours, whereas the recovery rate stands at 96.72%. India's active caseload declines to 5,95,565, less than 6 lakh after 86 days. The daily positivity rate currently stands at 2.79%, which is less than 5% for 19 consecutive days. Meanwhile, no COVID-19 case has been reported from the 21 districts of Uttar Pradesh, according to the UP's Health Department, whereas around 10 cases have been reported from 52 districts of Uttar Pradesh. Despite a decline in number of cases, Uttar Pradesh's Varanasi extends weekend lockdown to further contain the spread of the virus. The state has reported 173 fresh cases, while 328 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours. In Madhya Pradesh, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan inaugurated COVID care facility in Mandla district via video conferencing. The CM further said that the new facilities being provided will act as milestone and help in further containing the pandemic.
हमने ये व्यवस्थाएं खड़ी की है 60 बिस्तर के अस्पताल, जिसमें ऑक्सीजन बेड भी है, बच्चों का वार्ड भी है, आधुनिक सारे इक्विपमेंट्स है। अगर जरूरत पड़ी तो ये जनता की बहुत बेहतर सेवा कर पाएगा। स्वास्थ्य से संबंधित या वैक्सीनेशन का काम हो, टीकाकरण का काम हो, या सैंपल लेने का काम हो, इसको खाली ना छोड़े। ऐसा नहीं कि पेशेंट नहीं है कोविड के तो बिस्तर और अस्पताल खाली रहे। बिस्तर भरने की बात मैं नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन वैक्सीनेशन का सेंटर बन सकता है। अनेकों कोविड से संबंधित गतिविधियों का संचालन, बीमारियों, अगर कोई दूसरी बीमारी का भी कोई पेशेंट आ जाए तो उसके इलाज की व्यवस्था भी हम कर सकते हैं.
In Maharashtra, people were seen flouting COVID-19 protocol with crowds thronging the Crawford market in Mumbai. However, in the midst of all this, the government has decided to allow relaxation in Pune. Restaurants, food courts will be open from Monday to Friday, allowing 50% seating capacity. However, only home delivery will be allowed on Saturdays and Sundays. Social, religious and entertainment events will be allowed from Monday to Friday with a maximum limit of 50 people. Gyms, salons, spa centers in Pune will open till 4 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Liquor shops will remain open from Monday to Friday till 4 p.m. But malls and multiplexes, religious places will remain closed. Meanwhile, in West Bengal, fraud cases in vaccination drive have been reported. Leader of opposition in the West Bengal Assembly, Shubhendu Adhikari, has written a letter to Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan calling for a thorough probe in the Kolkata fraud vaccine case. On the other hand, in the border villages of Rajouri in Jammu and Kashmir, people are being vaccinated with the help of the Indian Army. The citizens are being made aware on the importance of vaccination through door-to-door campaign. Bureau Report, DD India.
The central government said in an affidavit to the Supreme Court on Saturday that a new coronavirus vaccine developed by Indian pharmaceutical company Zydus Cadila will be available soon for those between 12 to 18 years of age. The Centre informed the Apex Court that Zydus Cadila, which is developing DNA vaccines, has concluded its clinical trial for the age group of 12 to 18 and subject to the statutory permissions. The same may be available in near future for children of the age group of 12 to 18 years. It added that the production capacity of the COVID vaccines is being ramped up and expected to further increase in the next few months. The centre also said that 186.6 crore doses of the COVID-19 vaccines are needed for vaccinating people above 18 years and calling it vaccination policy dynamic and not static. It stated COVID-19 shots are now free for all above 18 years under the new policy in effect since 21st June. Moving on to our next story now, a new study says a third wave of COVID-19, if it occurs, is not likely to be as severe as the second wave. It's been authored by Indian Council of Medical Research Director General Ram Bhargav, among others. The study also says vaccination could substantially reduce the overall burden during a possible third wave of the virus. In a related development, the ICMR chief has said that Covaxin and Covishield vaccines work against all the coronavirus variants, including Delta. The next report tells you more.
A study published by the Indian Journal of Medical Research says the emergence of a third wave of the coronavirus could be substantially mitigated by the expansion of vaccination. It has been authored by Sandeep Mandal, Balram Bhargav and Samiran Panda from the Indian Council of Medical Research, New Delhi, and Nimalan Arinaminpathy from Imperial College, London. The study says a rapid scale-up of vaccination efforts could play an important role in mitigating these and future waves of the disease, and it is unlikely for any such resurgence to be as large as the second wave. However, the study cautions that projections based on mathematical modeling analysis are subject to several uncertainties. Therefore, it is important to scale up vaccination coverage to mitigate against any eventuality. Meanwhile, vaccinations are continuing apace. The Indian Council of Medical Research says it has achieved a milestone of conducting 400 million COVID-19 tests. The ICMR said in a statement that this has been enabled by rapidly increasing testing infrastructure and capacity across the country. ICMR has been enhancing COVID-19 testing capability across the country by expanding and diversifying testing capacity by leveraging technology and facilitating innovation in affordable diagnostic kits. Professor Balram Bhargav, Director General of ICMR, said this testing milestone is testimony to the fact that India has been successful in implementing the strategy of 5T approach: test, track, trace, treat and use of technology efficiently, which will enable us to contain the spread of the pandemic. Addressing a press conference in New Delhi on Friday, Professor Balram Bhargav said the Covaxin and Covishield vaccines work against all the coronavirus variants, including Delta. Tests on the efficacy of the vaccines against the Delta Plus variant are ongoing. Talking about the Delta Plus variant, he said it is present in 12 countries. There are 48 cases in India, but they are very localized. He added that it is possible to avert a third wave provided people adhere to COVID-appropriate behavior. Bureau Report, DD India.
India's COVID-19 vaccination drive hits another high, surpassing 32 crore now. More than 58 lakh 10,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines were administered in the last 24 hours, taking the cumulative data to reach 32 crore 11 lakh 43,649. Another phase 3 of the nationwide vaccination drive, 36 lakh 68,189 vaccine doses were administered as first dose, while 1 lakh 14,506 vaccine doses given as second dose in the age group of 18 to 44 years in the last 24 hours. President Ram Nath Kovinds received warm public reception on his arrival to his native village Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. President is on a 5-day historic visit to the state. He will visit his birthplace Parok in Kanpur Dehat district today. In Parok village, President will visit the temple of local deity Patri Devi, Ambedkar Milan Kendra and the community center in village, which was earlier his ancestral home and was later converted into the community center. He will later attend a function in Kanpur Dehat, and tomorrow the President will board a special train at Kanpur Central Railway Station to reach Lucknow for his 2-day visit to the state capital. This is the first time that the President will visit his birthplace after taking over the chair. On June 29th, he will return to New Delhi on a special flight. Right, to give us more information on this, our correspondent Vishal Barrister joins us from Kanpur. Good morning, Vishal. First of all, tell us in detail what will be the President's schedule today.
A very good morning to you, Abhishek. Right now I am here at the Jhalkari Bai Inter College in Parok, which is the ancestral village of President Ram Nath Kovind. And the moment he arrives here, he'll first go to the temple of Patri Devi. The land of the temple was donated by his father, and then he will meet his people there. And after that, he would come here at the Inter College. Now, this college is of quite an importance because he himself laid the foundation stone of this Inter College. Yesterday, I covered the area and the village, and we saw how under a people tree, Ram Nath Kovind, when he was a child, did his primary education, completed his primary schooling from there, and so forth, and thereafter his journey continued. And his classmates say that he was very, very punctual in his homeworks and all here, and he was very much focused on his studies. After this, he'll go to garland the statue of Ambedkar, and nearby is also a public meeting where he would be facilitated by the local people of this area. So Parok is all decked up, all prepared to welcome the President.
Right, Parok is all decked up, you are saying, but it must be decorated, must be spruced up, the entire village, to welcome, to give grand welcome to the President.
Well, absolutely, it's a big day for Parok because, as we say in Hindi, Parok ka lal. A small village in Kanpur Dehat, which was quite a backward area, is now well known because this has given the first citizen of the country in the name of Ram Nath Kovind, who is now the President of the country. And it's a very, very big day, and definitely people feel honored when they say that I belong to Parok, because yesterday I spoke to some of the villagers and they were very, very proud because of the President himself. The area has seen quite a change. Now we have a health center here, now we have an inter-college here, we also have a school here. The area which was unknown, underdeveloped, but because of President Ram Nath Kovind, this area has seen quite a sea change as far as development is concerned. And I would ask my cameraman to show you this whole inter-college has been decorated specially. You can see the balloons in tricolor. This is the college, the inter-college, whose foundation stone was laid by the president himself, and today he would be coming here to have to monitor how things have progressed. There you see all the preparations. The security forces are here according to the protocol of the president, and all arrangements have been made. Now, the place which did not have a primary school, as I informed you, Abhishek, he used to study under a people tree, and it was all kacha. And the same village now has an inter-college. Inter-college means 10 plus 2 in UP. So the children of this village will be benefited, are being benefited, as you see. Now this inter-college has a science stream also. So all the students from Parok can also aspire to be scientists of this country.
Right, Vishal. The principal and other staff members also must be very, very excited to host the president to their college also. We'll come back to you. You keep tracking this story. Thank you for the time. Moving further, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address his 78th edition of his monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat at 11 a.m. today. It will be broadcast on the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan, and also on AIR News website www.newsonair.com and News on Air mobile app. It will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of AIR, TD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. Moving further, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate a Zen Garden and Kaizen Academy at AMA Ahmedabad today at around 11:30 a.m. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said, "This is yet another instance showcasing the close bond between India and Japan." Next story, Union Defence Minister Ram Nath Kovinds will begin a 3-day visit to Ladakh from today. During his Ladakh visit, he will inaugurate infra projects constructed by BRO and also interact with troops deployed in the region. Rajnath Singh's visit with Army Chief General M.M. Narvane comes 2 days after the 22nd meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs. At the meeting, both sides agreed on the need to find an early resolution to the remaining issues along the LAC in eastern Ladakh, keeping in view the agreement reached between the two foreign ministers in September 2020. International story now. UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock resigned on Saturday after breaking the country's coronavirus rules by kissing a senior aide in his office, the latest embarrassing controversy to hit Prime Minister Boris Johnson's government. His resignation came after a newspaper published photos of Hancock and Gina Coledangelo, who he appointed to his team, apparently embracing in his Whitehall offices last month. "We have worked hard as a country to fight the pandemic," Hancock said in his letter to resignation to Johnson. "The last thing I want is for my private life to distract from the single-minded approach that is leading us out of this crisis," unquote. And following the resignation of Matt Hancock, Sajid Javid has been appointed as Secretary of State for Health and Social Care. A statement by the UK government read, "The Queen has been pleased to approve the appointment of the Right Honourable Sajid Javid MP as Secretary of State for Health and Social Care." Sports story now. Abhishek Verma beat American Chris Schaff via shoot-off in a nerve-wracking final to win the compound men's individual title in the Archery World Cup Stage 3 in Paris. On Saturday, Abhishek Verma shot a 10 against Schaff's 9 in the shoot-off after the two archers were tied 148-148 in the gold medal match. This was Abhishek Verma's second World Cup individual gold medal. He won an individual medal in 2015 at World Cup Stage 3 in Wroclaw. Well, football now. Italy endured the most difficult night of Euro 2020 when they beat Austria to reach the last 8. Austria marked their first appearance in the knockout stage of the European Championship with a tireless performance to give their much fancied opponents a scare. Italy needed extra time to see off battling Austria and set up a Euro 2020 quarter-final against Belgium or Portugal. In another match, Denmark thrashed Wales 4-0 to become the first team to enter quarterfinals of the Euro 2020. Denmark had already provided the uplifting story of these finals, showing admirable resolve to reach this stage, having been galvanized by midfielder Christian Eriksen's recovery from a cardiac arrest. The next stop on their fairy tale voyage will be Baku for a last 8 tie with the Netherlands or the Czech Republic next Saturday. Well, that's all we have in this news bulletin. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.